a great horse named Easy Goer. Did you know before you rode him for the first time that he was going to be something special?
I really didn't. I'd never been on him, and appreciated Mr. McGahee Shug giving us the opportunity. He told us he thought he was something special, and I was just playing off of that. I got him beat the first time he ran. Not having ever been on him, not knowing what kind of acceleration he had, or anything really about him, except that Shug was pretty keen on him. We broke. We're in the middle of the pack, and he's handling everything like a pro. But I was unsure just how responsive he was going to be. Didn't seem like he was too enthusiastic about the work at hand, and so I pulled the trigger a little early, not realizing that I was going to get the response that I did. When I called on him, he exploded, and now we're running, and I was, at that point, felt like I was committed to go on. Concerned about letting him down and confusing him, start, stop, and so I went on, and he got beat the last couple of jumps. The horse come and got him right at the wire. But probably, without a doubt, the best horse I ever rode.
Leading up to that Kentucky Derby, I believe it was 1989, with Sunday Silence, his main adversary. They hadn't faced each other. Did you feel going in that this was going to be your Derby, that this was your best opportunity to win a Kentucky Derby?
I thought, I knew I was very well mounted, but my concern was with the track conditions. We'd gotten beaten a Breeders' Cup Juvenile as a 2-year-old on the same kind of racetrack. And I just kept telling myself, well, he's grown up, he's matured, he'll handle it, he'll be fine. The track is getting better through the course of the day. It's getting faster, it's getting tighter. It's not the sticky peanut butter substance consistency that it had been when he'd gotten beat as a 2-year-old. I kept telling myself all these things. But as he was warming up, and I wasn't real comfortable, real confident at that point, just because of the way he was responding. And then, of course, in the race, he in my opinion, never got out of second gear. Was hard-ridden to get him to extend as much as he did. Very uncomfortable on the footing, just wouldn't extend himself, and just testimony to his talent and ability that he was able to run second.
When Legends returns...
When I went under the wire, this feeling that had started from way down deep inside just erupted, and it was absolutely the greatest thrill I've ever had in racing.
Horse race, this one is Easy Goer and Sunday Silence going nose and nose in the Preakness. Sunday Silence, Easy Goer, here's the finish. Sunday Silence wins it by a nose.
Come back in the Preakness 2 weeks later, and to me, probably the greatest stretch battle that I'd witnessed, and to this day still. I mean, I was in some great battles, some head-and-head battles, but with Sunday Silence on the outside and you down on the inside.
I felt miserable immediately after the race because he should never got beat, in my opinion. Yeah, it was absolutely right or error. He kind of hopped at the brake, didn't get away real clean, got a little anxious going into the first turn. I mean, he was tugging on me pretty hard, and I was right behind Sunday Silence. And when we turned up the backside, I opted to come out a little bit and give him his head, let him settle into stride, and just to let him get comfortable. And when I run up alongside of Sunday Silence, well, P. Val looked over and seen Big Red, and he decided that he wanted my part of the racetrack and started to carry me to the outside. And at that moment, that's where I made the tactical mistake. Rather than taking into consideration that if I'm 12 wide, he's got to be 11 wide, it angered me that he would be doing something like that in this race. Just ride your race. You don't have to play cutesy with me. And Easy Goer was wanting to run, so I let him run. And when P. Val knew that I was going to try to get the jump on him and push him back down into where he belonged, he let Sunday Silence run. I've never put the clock on the tape, but I guarantee you we zinged him up the backside. I mean, we're running, and as a tandem, as a pair. But I got in front of him and eased him back down to the inside. We're getting to the turn, and Angel Cordero was on a real fast horse called Houston for Wayne Lucas. I don't think you could put Houston in a trailer and drag him a mile and an eighth. It was just too far. You know, he was a real anxious, you know, free-running kind of horse, and Angel had his feet in the dashboard trying to slow him down. And so when he got to the turn, he didn't change leads and drop into the turn smoothly. He went straight a couple of jumps. Easy Goer changed leads, Sunday Silence changed leads, and when I dropped in and Houston went straight, Sunday Silence had to check. My momentum carried me on up to and past Houston by the 3/8 pole. So now I figured, well, Sunday Silence would come back to me shortly. You know, he'll come back, but I didn't think he would get back to me until I got into the stretch. So I let Easy Goer go ahead and take a breather. And so we're cruising past Houston, and almost immediately, Sunday Silence is on us. P-Val's got blood in his eyes. I mean, he's upset. He thinks for sure that I just shut him off. And so now he's got the jump on me, and he bumped me several times, pushed me right down on top of the fence. If you go back and watch the race, Houston actually had to steady off my heels. He banged me down to the fence. And now we're in a position that Easy Goer's never been in. I mean, he's not used to being down in, pushed and banged, and so he's a little hesitant. And we come off the turn, and he's real slow about changing leads. And about the 8th pole, he finally changed over to his correct lead, and we inched in front of Sunday Silence. And I thought, wow, that's it. We'll just go on and win the race. And about that time, his legs just went rubber. I mean, he'd emptied out. You know, he ran too hard up the backside, got just a little short breather around the turn, and then Easy Goer or Sunday Silence was on him, and I mean, he's fighting hard, but his legs, there's nothing left. He's giving me all he's got. And at that point, I thought, well, Sunday Silence is banging and bumping on me. I said, let me see if I can initiate a little something here. Maybe while I've got the advantage, let me come out and bump him a little bit.
The green light's already there.
Oh, yeah. You know, if I come out and bump him a little bit, maybe I can maintain my advantage to the wire, because the wire wasn't coming quick enough. Sunday Silence was inching back past us. And I turned his head out, you know, tried to get him to come out into Sunday Silence. His head turned, bless his heart, he was tired. He just turned his head and stayed the same. His body never turned. And Sunday Silence got us at the wire. Absolutely right or error. If I'd have let him just cruise up the backside, P-Val put me where he wants to, he'd have run away from me going in the turn, because Sunday Silence accelerated and run around the turn like a hoop around a barrel. But Big Red, he'd have got his feet up underneath of him, leaving a 3/8 pole, and there's no doubt in my mind that he'd have run by him in the stretch. I mean, that's my personal opinion.
You come back in the Belmont Stakes 3 weeks later, win the Belmont. Was there some sort of elation for you? I mean, did that justify your defeat in the Preakness?
Did I feel good that he won the race, that he showed what he could do? He caught a racetrack that he liked, and you know, that he was comfortable and confident over? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I've always thought and continue to believe that pound for pound he was a better horse than Sunday Silence. But the record doesn't bear that out.